Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as I'm.
Hello, bonjour and bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Nompumelelo Rial Gunene. I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from today's podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on emotional empowerment. In England, United Kingdom, we have Ian Harvey. And also in New York, we have Perk Tucker. And in Wales, we're going to have Richard Eccles. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Perk. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. And my name is Peg Tucker. I am an office manager by day. I'm an entrepreneurial business owner, online business on the side of that. And I also do some coaching. I live in upstate New York. It is very cold here. We're going to be sub-zero temperatures this weekend, so I'm not looking forward to that. But there's summer inside me, right? Eternal summer inside me. So, for the past 5 years, I've been on a journey of building and empowering myself and empowering others, going from a limited mindset to a mindset of love and growth. And I'm really excited to share that with you today. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Go ahead, Ian.
Hi everyone, it's Ian Harvey from the UK. I actually live just outside of Stratford-upon-Avon, which is where Shakespeare is born. So you've probably all been to my village, my town already. So a small bit about myself. I've been mentoring people now for about 34 years. I decided to go down a road of not having a job because I've seen too many people have a job, which obviously stands for just over broke. And I wanted to be more than broke. So I decided to go into the direct sales world, and I have built 2 successful network marketing businesses. But for 34 years now, I've done public speaking, I have quite a large mentoring business, and I do corporate trainings as well.
Thank you so much. One of our speakers is just having some challenges logging in. So at this moment, it's going to be Perk who's going to be the first speaker. Perk Tucker is a joyful living strategist. She empowers people in improving their health and their wealth. Most of all, they believe that they deserve and they can have both. She lives a heart-based mission to share the power of connecting the body and mind to work together and embrace a sense of playfulness and joy to create an extraordinary life. Along with being an instructor for Active Choices Coaching, Perk is a leader to an organization of hundreds of people, helping them to make part-time and full-time income from home. She enjoys spending time on the water with her husband of 34 years, 3 adults, and their family members. So kings and queens, help me to welcome Perk Tucker.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I am Peg Tucker, and I am very happy to be here to share with you my journey, like I mentioned, going from a state of being stuck to being emotionally empowered. And I really believe that everything is energy and mindset. You know, there's a statistic that 20% of your success in life is associated with your skills. The other 80% is what is in your heart and in your head. So that's, you know, that's really profound to think about. It really opens up the doors to anyone. My journey going from being stuck in fear to leading with love, I broke it down into 3 parts for today. One is identifying my limiting beliefs. Then 2 is associations, and 3 is learning to put energy into myself first so that I can shine my light to come from a broader sense of contribution. So I spent the first part of my life, really, I always say, hiding my light under a bush. I was a wife, a mother, a store owner. When I look back on my life at that time, I was a whisper of the woman that I am today. And I really focused on the needs of others. As a shop owner, there were the struggles of that were really slowly killing me, and my family saw that and begged me to do something different, begged me to just, Mom, get rid of this and do something else. And I told myself a story. You know, Bob Healy calls it a red light story, and I like that term. I told myself a story that was all I could do, that was what defined me. And, you know, sometimes we tell ourselves these red light stories so many times that they become our reality. And we get this fixed mindset that our skills, where we are written in stone. And if you can flip that around and come from a place of love, you can come from a place of growth. And then when there's a failure, it's not a personal failure. It's a failure is an opportunity for growth. So, and then you can be grateful for the things that you have when you come from a place of love. Taking that moment for gratitude every day is so huge in my life. And, you know, there's a reward to everything that we do. That's why we do it. So when we tell ourselves those self-limiting beliefs, we are getting the reward of comfort. It's keeping us in what we know. So when I had to eventually close my business, I really dove into that place of fear. And suddenly the pain of staying the same became worse than the pain of the thought of change. And that was the pivotal moment for me of having to make that change. You know, Les Brown says sometimes when something happens to you, you find out later that it was happening for you. And that was truly the case for me. You have to let go to let in. And I had to let go of who I was to become who I wanted to be. So, you know, my self-limiting beliefs, sometimes they may be true. But they don't have to remain true is the big thing. And to change my beliefs, here's the second stage of my journey was the associations, the people that I spent time with. You know, they say that the 5 people that you spend the most time with you're going to be the average of them. So if you want to be a good parent, hang around good parents. If you want to be physically fit, don't hang around people who don't care about their health and don't care about being active, because you're not going to be the one person that stands out in that crowd. You'll become like them. So for me, I found a number of years ago, I found network marketing, and that was a huge changing point for me. It changed my life in the sense that I found a community with a mindset that I gravitated towards. You know, you can't avoid personal growth when you're in network marketing, because it's such a huge part of the culture, and you need it. You have to have personal growth in order to achieve in network marketing, because you have to have it to lead a team, you have to have it to succeed and to contribute to others. So I know when I first looked at it, my first thought was, well, I can't afford to do that. Now looking back years later, I knew that I couldn't afford not to do it. I had to identify what my goals were, and this helped me enormously. And I also had to identify who I needed to become to achieve those goals. So I got close to the fire. I got close to people who would rise my vibration. You know, they say now that we use the term social distancing, and I don't believe we need to social distance. We need to physically distance, absolutely, right? But we don't need to social distance because we have amazing platforms like this, like what we're on today, that we can connect with people around the world. So embracing that is a huge, I mean, can make or break this time for all of us. And also, I learned to spend my time with people who when I was in their company, I felt good. My vibration would rise. And we all know people who bring energy into the room and people who suck the life out of the room when they walk in, right? So you want to make sure that you spend your time with those people who raise the vibration and pour into those people. Those people who are what I would call dividers, who maybe you see their number on your caller ID and you go, oof, you may need to spend some time with them because they may be family, right? But you really need to, you need to limit your time. You need to be the keeper, the boundary keeper of your time, and you need to be a guardian of your thoughts. So if you don't yet have a network of people that raise your vibration, there are books, there are videos, there's social media. Pay attention to how you feel when you watch it though. Be the guardian of what you let in your head, of what you let in your environment. And, you know, people that when you get around people that are successful, you feel like you see that you have a lot in common with them. And Les Brown says the easiest thing he ever did was to make $1 million. The hardest thing he ever did, and it took years, was to believe he was capable of making $1 million. And, you know, when you get around people who are successful and they share their stories, you get to see that you can do it. You can do that too. You can achieve that too. And it's not that making money is everything, but making money allows you to come from a position of contribution. And I believe if you have the ability to dream, if you have the ability to have big goals and to make money, I believe you have the obligation to do that, because there are people out there who are worried about putting food on the table and they can't get past anything but that because they're living check to check. So I believe if you have the opportunity to make money, you have the obligation to do it. And focusing on my strengths was another big part. I just had the opportunity to take a Clifton strengths assessment, and the assessment came back and said, you build bridges between groups. You help others find meaning by looking at a bigger picture and give them a sense of comfort and stability in the face of uncertainty. Wow, like what an empowering feeling was that, to get that report back. And if I can contribute to people's peace of mind, that is incredibly rewarding to me and incredibly empowering. So the third thing in my journey was learning to put energy into myself. This at first felt very selfish to me. I didn't understand the concept. I thought, well, I don't have time to put energy into myself. But I quickly learned by doing was that it was the most unselfish act I could do. It allows me to show up in a different way. You know, when you get on a flight, the flight attendant doesn't say, put the oxygen mask on your child first, because you wouldn't be any good to your child. So you need to put energy into yourself. You need to fill your tank, fill your cup so that you can pour into others. And it's totally changed the way I show up in everything. Public speaking was an incredibly paralyzing fear for me for all my life. And I happened to stumble upon the Les Brown Power Voice community. And, you know, Les says coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And I believe that that is so true, because this happened for a reason. It's allowed me to share my story and to empower other people. You know, when you allow a cycle to, or a limiting belief to perpetuate, you don't break the cycle. But when you allow yourself to be vulnerable to others and relatable, you can break a cycle by showing them a way out that they might not have seen before. You know, Marianne Williamson says in a Return to Love, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, and talented? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does nothing to serve the world. You have a light to shine. And I want to close with a story of a group of people called Moonwalkers off the coast of a rural area on the coast of North Carolina. 300 years ago, the waters there are extremely shallow for miles out, and the people were poor. They would go down to the beach on a moonless night and light fires in wagons, and they would stay on the beach to look like a lighthouse to lure the ships in. And when the ships ran aground, some of the locals would jump in their boats and go out and take over the crew and pillage the ship. There are moonwalkers all around us. There are people in our society that are shining a false light that will draw in the people in your circle if your light isn't brighter. They'll be drawn by the shiniest light. So it's really important to go out there and shine your light, be a light to others. And, you know, for me, I just want to recap, for me, understanding my limiting beliefs, associating with the right people, putting energy to me and shining my light has changed my life. And I want to tell you, if you feel stuck, if I can do this, you can do this too. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Please subscribe. Please share this if you've gotten value. And please, if you would like to reach out to me, you can find me on social media under Peg Tucker. And please go out and make it happen and watch what happens in your life. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That was powerful. Thank you so much, Peg, for sharing how fighting through your emotional fear of public speaking has helped you to share your story and help others. And you've also mentioned that how you've learned that you can only help others when you feel your own tank first. That was really profound. And it's such a timely message. And thank you for sharing your journey of learning that playing small does nothing to serve the world. And it's so true. It's very, very true. We shouldn't be playing small. So thank you so much for such a profound message. So our next speaker is gonna be Ian Harvey. Ian Harvey, over the last 20 years, he has been a consultant for many companies, organizing a large range of assignments, including the launching of new products ranges and strategic planning with directors. He is a great motivator who helps increase sales volume and recruiting by implementing company programs. Ian Harvey has well-developed business acumen, a keen eye, and a good insight. He is commercially very aware and has the enviable ability to make sound decisions under extreme pressure. He is naturally positive and enthusiastic with an achievement-driven disposition. Mixed with his excellent communication, negotiation, and presentation skills, you have someone with the ability to lead, train, motivate, and organize others effectively. He will always show unquestionable determination, commitment, tenacity, and has strong desire to succeed. He will always rise to any challenge. So, kings and queens, help me to welcome Ian Harvey.
Yeah, thank you for that. I don't think any more to say, actually. It's like, thanks for coming, and that's great. You know, it's quite interesting. My first thing I put down on to talk to you about today is oxygen mask. So we won't bother with that one anymore now. Next one is Les Brown. So we won't talk about that one right now, you know, but we'll talk about something different. You know, I have to say, I thought your presentation was amazing, to be quite honest. You know, it's like absolutely excellent, you know. And the one thing I really, really enjoy is watching people develop and seeing people take on the challenge and move forward. I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm going to do a bit strange things because I always use stories for what I do. And I just want to ask everyone a question. And I want you to imagine that you actually walk down a garden in California and it's a bright sunny day and you pick an orange off the tree and you go to the greenery, to the breakfast room, and you squeeze the orange. What do you think you're going to get out of that orange? Well, most people say orange juice. Incorrect. You're going to get apple juice. So you walk down the garden, you pick the fruit off the tree, it's an orange, you squeeze it, and as you squeeze it, apple juice comes out. Now people say, this is crazy. You know, this can't possibly happen. The reality is, if you squeezed yourself, what would come out? Because a lot of people are in a bit of denial. They say, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to follow that, I'm going to do this, and all those sort of things. But that's on the outside. On the inside, there's something different going on. And this is where all the emotions take over. If you can't get it right on the inside, the outside will deliver you nothing. So just imagine walking down a garden now in California, you pick the orange, you give it a squeeze, apple juice comes out, and you say, you're crazy, it's got to be orange juice. But think about it for yourself. Just think about it on yourself. Think about what really goes on inside, because having been in this direct sales business stroke mentoring for 34 years, I actually see people that say, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This stuff doesn't work. Well, who's not making it work? That's what I would say. So think about the orange. The other thing, and this is my favorite one of everything, because people say to me, Ian, think outside of the box. And I'm like, I can't do that. And they said, no, you can if you try, if you put your mind to it. On my mind. No, I can't do that. The reason I can't do that is I don't have a box. And if anyone can tell me where this box is, because I've searched and I don't have a box at all, anywhere. You try and find a box and I will give you loads of money. I've even had a full body x-ray and it did not say you have a box inside you. You see, the reality is this box is just limiting beliefs. It's a set of circumstances that we put together to make sure we fail. That's what it is, because no one has a box. We build it up. And so when people say, think outside of the box, I'm like, run a mile, because if that mentor is telling you to think outside the box, he does not understand you, because you haven't got a box. If you think you've got a box, burn it, trash it, give it away. Just get rid of this box, but do not keep it, because this box is your limiting beliefs. It's your limiting beliefs. So just get rid of the thing. The other thing that I'd just like to mention is a bit of an exercise, but I want you to imagine that right now, I'm going to give you all $86,400. And this is the deal. You have 24 hours to go and buy whatever you want with this $86,400. You can't buy anything for more than $5,000 per item. But what you don't spend in the next 24 hours, I'm taking back. Now, who wouldn't go and spend it? On some of my mentoring programs, I say, I'm going to give you $86,400 right now. You've got 24 hours to spend it. Would you try and spend it? And some people say, you wait there. I'll see you back in 24 hours. I am off to spend this money. And we do. We get all emotional about it. And it's like, right, here we go. The reality is, every day, we get 86,400 seconds. Every single day. What you don't use, you lose. End of story. You cannot have it back or anything. So many people, though, get attached to money. Now, I say, well, currency is a currency. Money is the stable currency. No, it's not. The dollar at the moment is going up and down. The English pound, since we left the European business, is like a yo-yo. And they say that's our stability factor. No, but we get really emotionally attached to money. And yet actually, we get our only currency that never, ever changes, which is 86,400 seconds every day. And we let other people take it from us, and we don't even bother about it. If someone was to come to you and take $10 out your purse, you'd say, give me back. Hey, 911, someone's stealing my money. Give me back, and you'd fight for it. I've seen people jump over bonnets because they've stolen money off people. Or they've got home and said, I'm sure I had £10. I'm sure I am. Don't know where it is. Oh, that's it. My whole day is wrecked. And yet the only currency we have, which is 86,400 seconds, we let people take. People ring up and say, hey, how you doing? Great. How are you doing? Let's just waste half an hour of your time, shall we? Just talking about nothing. You go, yeah, carry on. We're not bothered. Your emotional connection is wrong. Your emotional connection should time. If anyone calls me up, it's now 4:20 in the UK. If that phone was to ring right now, and it won't, it's on silent, but we'll pretend it could. If that phone was to ring right now, I'll be going like, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm going to have to be really quick, so I've got 2 minutes to get on the call. How can I help you? Well, I was just going to have a chat with you. In brackets, I'm just going to waste your time. It's like, well, I'm really busy at the moment at work. Let me call you back. When you call them back, say, okay, call you back. Oh, it's nothing, I just wanted to chat with you. Yeah, and we're absolutely fine to do this, and yet that is our only currency. What I would say to everyone is, You need to have a garage sale in your mind, because you know whatever's in there, if it's not pure, it's not going to take you where you need to go. And people do say, I don't understand why it doesn't work for me. And I say, well, what was the last book that you read? They said, well, I don't really read books. When was the last audio program? Well, you know, it's a bit difficult. No, it's not. If you want to actually get rid of the weeds, then you need to go and plant something else, because weeds grow perfectly without even touching them. So if you put nothing in, you get nothing out. Then we get all emotional and say, it's not working for me. I've tried it. It didn't work. You know, it's like, guys, you can have anything you want, which is what Peg just talked about, if you really want it. But a lot of people, no, they're not going to do this. A guy told me the other day, he said, I want to join your mentoring program. And I can tell he was going to be amazing, because he was like, give me your best shot then. I thought, oh, wonderful. And I said, the best thing I can do to you is I can give you your money back. He said, no, come on, give me your best shot. You do what you meant to do then. Like, I can't with people like you, you know? However, here's the deal. This guy was watching the television. And I said, well, how much do you watch the television for? 10 to 15 hours a day. Whoa, if I get half an hour a day, that's a lot. 10, 15 hours a day. He said, yeah. I said, why? Why are you watching so much? Well, I've got to keep up to date. What with? The virus. Oh, the new virus. Yeah. I said, okay. What do you need to know about the virus? I said, well, I need to know everything. Do you know? I said, stop. I know everything about the virus. And he said, you do? I said, yeah. Don't cough on someone. Keep 2 meters apart. What else do you need to know? Well, you need to know a lot more than that. Why? I'm not a doctor. All I know is no one's going to sneeze on me. If I go in the supermarket, I'll put a mask on because it's legal in the UK. You have to do it, you know, and I'll keep 2 meters away from you. What else do you need to know? He said, well, put it like that. You know, I said, put it like what? And he's like, well, if you say that. And just one more thing that we are all so emotionally attached to that I will share with you. See, I always have to use stories because that's who I am, you know. And I want to talk about the cell phone. We've all got one, yeah? Well, when I was first starting out in life, people used to say, turn your television off and only you watch it for a few hours a day. It's your biggest hindrance you'll ever have. I tell you what, there is a bigger one, this thing. Because I see people just sitting there scrolling for hours. And I'm like, whoa. Do you know, I even seen a guy in our village. He was walking down the road, scrolling, head down, of course. Ding! He hit the lamppost with his head. He had to have the ambulance to go to the hospital. And so the one thing we're going to have, if you want to start your own business, the product you need to look for is a neck brace. Because if you can get neck braces, it is going to be incredible, this market, because everyone's walking around like this. And eventually we're going to have something to do that, because it's going to be like that. It's so used to being down. So if you're looking for a niche market, get neck braces. Just go and do it. It's the same with the phone. It's like the telephone, though. Now, put it away. Do what you've got to do. Move it out the way and get on with your business, because you will become a stroller. And you'll be like, hey, and it's all no good. So if I can leave you with one word, you can have anything you want. If you find a box, you found a miracle. You don't have a box. Turn the television off a bit. Don't use your cell phone 24/7, and have plenty of fresh oranges. There you go. Over to you.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That was so hilarious. Like, you've shared some nuggets on emotional empowerment in a seriously funny way. Who could have ever thought that if you squeeze an orange, you will get an apple juice? It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you. And thinking out of the box, that was a profound message. So thank you so much, Ian, for sharing such timely message. It's really needed. And you've also mentioned, like, you love to switch off the TV, switch off your phone, and focus focus in life. I think focus can take you in places that you've never been to. Thank you, Ian. So our next speaker is Richard Eckel. It's so funny. It's from UK to the UK again. Richard has 3 grown-up kids. He has been in a personal development since the mid-90s. He wrote his first book, Your Focus to a Healthier, Happier You, as a guide for his children when they were still teenagers. Then he had some good reviews on it, so he went ahead and published that book, which led him to write the second book, Mastering Your Mindset. And after that, How to Master Your Health. He has just finished helping one of his students from the Eckel Global Community School, which he founded last year in Africa. He also wrote his book, Malawi, Its Land and People. So Richard is a podcaster, author, speaker, and a coach. So kings and queens, help me to welcome Richard Eckel. We can hear you, Richard. We still can't hear you. Or you'll have to unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can.
I do apologize. Technology is not my forefront. How are you keeping? Okay?
Good, good. Thank you.
Excellent job. Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to be on your show. As Richard Branson said, health is so more important than wealth. We can lose our wealth and we can get our money back. But once we lose our health, we've lost everything. So it's so important to get control of your health to start off with. There are 4 main keys to a healthier, happier life. That's your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your mindset. Once you get your health sorted, you can then take the time to develop which area you want to develop more. It's up to you. And the way to do that is to get the 4 keys sorted out, is to look at your health from like a 30,000 foot view, if you like. A lot of us go into we sort of see the latest faddy diet or exercise regime to try and go into short term solving the problem. The way to look at it is from a 30,000 foot. Look at your health from above so you can see exactly how your health is going, how it's progressing through your life. And the best way I've found to do this is to look at 5 key areas of a system. It's called the READ system, which is R, E, E, D, and S. The R, first of all, stands for rest. We know we all need 8 hours a day to get a good night's sleep, but a lot of us don't actually take the time to get it. We think we can get away with sort of 5 or 6 hours, it'll be fine. But what these 8 hours are actually doing, we think we're just all like just sleeping, we're not doing much. But actually it's at night time when our body and brain goes to work, cleaning itself and sorting out all the information. There's basically 2 parts to our sleep. There's the non-REM sleep, and then there's the REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. What the first stage of sleep does, actually our brain goes in rest and diverts some of its blood to the rest of the body, so you can actually regenerate the cells, heal any areas we've got any problems. If you've got a bad hand or bad leg, the blood actually flows to these areas, taking the nutrients and oxygen to these areas, so it's improving it. So the first part of our sleep is actually regenerating all our body to make it all healthy again. The second then part is the REM stage, which is the rapid eye movement stage. This is when we have our dreams. This is about 2 hours from when we wake up from our sleep. What this actually does, the amount of information we've received all day long, we're getting things from our senses, from our hearing, our smell, our taste, our touch. All this information is going into our brain, and our brain at night time has to sort out this colossal amount of information and work out what things are backing up previous experiences, what things are new experiences, what things it can discard, what thing can be stored in long-term memory. So our brain is taking the time to sort through all this information and store it in the present place. And what it also does is actually clean our brains, which sounds a weird thing to say. But during the day, our bodies actually build something called amyloid plaque. This builds up throughout our bodies, a natural defense against inflammation. And at night time, during the daytime, this actually builds up on our brain's neurons, on our connections. And so only at night time, it gets a chance to clear this away to make us feel more fresh, alive, and awake. And if we don't take the time to actually get our full 8 hours sleep, we're getting by on 6 or 7 hours, say, it's this increment we're losing to actually get the plaque cleared away. This actually can cause Alzheimer's disease and dementia down the road. So these are developed over long periods of time, 20 or 30 of years. This build of amyloid plaque continually building up, not getting cleared away, can lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. And unfortunately, that is the leading cause of death in the UK at the moment. So that's the first part of just on your sleep part. The next part of the reads is the E, which is for eat. And we all eat, we all like our food. But unfortunately, our diets have totally changed. We used to live on a plant-based diet. Today we've changed to a meat-based diet. And we're on one of either two diets mainly, which is called the SAD or SAD diet, or the BAD or BAD diet, which is the standard American diet, or the British average diet. And these are all meat-based, they're high protein, high foods, high fat, high sugar, and they're processed foods. And it's unfortunately, we've taken on this Western society of living this way with these sort of foods. Going back to thousands of years, we lived in the country, we lived on fresh green veg, on good wholesome fruit and veg. We've now changed to a meat-based diet, which is what we're eating all the time. If you think about if you wanted to make a nice cake, you choose your best ingredients. You get the best sugar, the best flour, the best eggs, and you'd make a lovely tasting cake. But we're putting all these terrible ingredients into our bodies, expecting our bodies to produce a great body. But unfortunately, our bodies can't do magic. They need to have the right ingredients to get the body working right. And that's just your basics, your fruit and veg, getting them into your system every day. We're always told by our parents to eat your green veg, eat your green veg. And it's so true. It's just a combination of your cabbage, your cauliflowers, your broccolis, having those 4 or 5 times a week in your diet. It gives your body the ingredients it needs to create healthy cells and make you feel much better, healthier, and live a longer, healthier life. The next step is then exercise. Unfortunately, we live today in it's called a sedentary lifestyle. We basically sit at work on our computers and our laptops. We then sit in our cars driving home. We then sit in front of the TV, watching the TV in the evening. We could be spending 10, 12 hours a day just sat down. This is the worst thing we can possibly do for our organs. Our organs, our whole body needs to be moving. We were built as mobile beings, if you like. We sort of traveled around for years when we was evolving in the savannas, chasing food. So we've always walked. But it's only in recent years we've actually developed this sedentary lifestyle where we're sat down all the time and our body's not moving. Once we get up, we need to move for at least 30 minutes a day, minimum, of good exercise. That could be walking, cycling, jogging, anything that gets our heart going, our lungs working right, our livers clearing themselves. Once we start to get this working right, our whole body is working better. We can live a longer, healthier life just by doing that 30 minutes of exercise minimum per day. The next part is D, which is for drinking. We all like to drink our coffees, our teas, our wines, and our beers, and that's nice to have a drink of those. But we're forgetting what we need, and most importantly, is just the basic water. Our bodies are actually made of 60% water, and our brains are actually made of 85% water. And when we're feeling tired or run down, it's usually a lack of water, of dehydration, causing this problem. Unfortunately, because our bodies can't actually store water, we need to continue to get water coming into our system. So it's not like drinking gallons or liters of water a day. It's just perhaps having a drink in the morning, first thing when you wake up, a drink at break time, a glass of water at lunchtime, a glass in the afternoon, and a glass when you go to bed. You're actually hydrating your body, so your whole body is feeling better, it's looking better. It actually hydrates your skin, so you have softer, better looking skin. It helps with acne, it helps your joints move, it helps lubricate the joints, it helps every area of our body, and it helps our blood flow better to all the areas it needs to get to actually help restore the body to its proper condition. Our last part of the read system is S, which is for stress. And we do need to try and de-stress ourselves. We get so stressed with financial stress, family stress, all the stress going on. And it's actually how we think about something that causes us stress, not the actual problem. If you thought about, perhaps you're driving to work, 2 people driving to work, and a car comes along, cuts straight in front of you, and you have to slam your brakes on. Now, 2 people will act totally differently. The first person may get totally irate, angry, annoyed, road rage, screaming and shouting at the other person. Well, the second person would just brake and move on. It's the exact same outside circumstance, but it's how they thought about the situation which caused them to get stressed and wound up. The person that drove in front of them and pulled away, they're not stressed, they've just carried on with their day. But you're left behind and you're stressed because it's how you thought about it. It's the story you're telling yourself of what's happened. If you changed your thought process to think, hang on, that person may be rushing to get their child to hospital, their wife might be giving birth. It's the story we tell ourselves that changes our perception on things. So we can actually reduce the worry by telling ourselves a different story to reduce stress, to get it going well. And worry is such a huge thing. They say we can worry ourselves to death. Once we realize worry is down to our control, if we have a problem, we can sort out the problem ourselves. If it's outside of our control, we can't do it. So then you need to let that problem go, let that worry go, do the things we can do, but if we can't do it, let it go. We can't live a problem-free life, a worry-free. We can live a worry-free life, but we can't live a problem-free life. We're going to have problems, but if we realize the ones we can do, we can work on, take action on, the ones we can't do, we let go, it'll reduce our worry and stress that way. And that's this actual system there is the REED and S. Once you get all these working day by day, you can see from the 30,000-foot view how your health is moving and which direction it's going. You can gather it then, you're in control of what you need to do. There's only two more questions that I'd just like to ask your listeners to, Riel, as they finish off now. Your first one is, how long do you think you will live? We all have a certain age we think of when we're younger, we probably think, 50, 60. When we get in our 40s, we think maybe 80, 90. But if you think about how long the actual age you would live to, actually think of that figure. Then add 10 years onto it. And think, what would you do with those 10 years? Would you perhaps walk your children down the aisle? Would you hold your grandchild's hand? Would you develop a business? Would you write a book? Would you travel the world? What would you do with those 10 years? And the actions you take today with your health could mean you give yourself those 10 years by the actions you're taking today. Your health habits you're creating can give you those 10 years you want in the future to do what you want to do. It's only by taking action today on our health issues, we can improve it. The last question I'd like to ask your readers is, if you were lying on your deathbed, you've looked back on your life and you've had a wonderful life, you've enjoyed it, what advice would you give your today self? From your deathbed, what would you say to your today self and think, what do I need to know for the rest of my future? What do I need to do? And that's just what I'd like to leave your listeners with today. Thank you very much, Riel.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Richard. Oh my goodness. Such a profound message. And like you've shared the importance of your health, that how our sleep not only affects our day, but it also affects our lives. That was really, really profound. And the questions that you've just asked us, like, it just makes you to think, really, where am I supposed to go from here? What is my future goal, like in the next 6 months? What do I want to achieve? Thank you so much, Richard. That was a timely message.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm going to be the next speaker right now. My name is Riel, and I am an energetic professional speaker. I am also the author to Rise to Greater Heights book, which is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I am also a mentor coach, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. I believe that we're in full control of our own choices. So my title, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. So as I wear many hats as a professional certified sales manager, esthetician, philanthropist, as well as commissioner for oaths, following my dreams, it gave me to see my goals through and understand that I have everything around me to reach to my full potential. My everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you have everything around you to make your dreams come true. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps me to rise to greater heights. So to our viewers online, please feel free. If you have any questions for any of the speakers today, just put it in the chat box, and then we're going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. But before I continue, I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that, Riel, I have never, ever complained in life? Never, ever complained in life. Seemingly, I'm in the right platform here because, sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Oh, the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Oh, the movie was really disappointing. You name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation, and we tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It is always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they're apt to have a bad health. So next time we'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes? Yet they're round. And funny enough, they're cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah? Please write this down. Emotional empowerment. Emotional empowerment. In an ideal world where we always feel wonderful, our emotions can be empowering parts of who we are in our lives of recovery. Being emotionally empowered means that we have to manage all three of these areas in our lives: the way we think, our emotions, and the way we behave to situations. Those are basically our awareness. It is our thoughts that create our emotions. Since I work with mindset transformation and resilience, I often pick up cues from my environment that triggers emotions, such as reading a person's body language or facial expressions, and catching glimpses of people's lives and their challenges. As my everyday book says, that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. So the way we respond to our feelings is a conditioned response. So we'll have to take the first step in becoming an emotionally authentic person is to own your emotions. You really don't have to see the whole staircase, good people, to get to the top, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. So in life, we encounter all sorts of situations and people who give their emotional power away to others by blaming responsibility through their statements like, you made me feel. I know pain is inevitable, but emotions are something we create, and they are also something we can choose. And you may ask me why. I'm glad you've asked that, because misery is a choice. It can feel like we are all consumed and controlled by our own emotions. The world is really becoming a brewing pot of hate and anger today, but emotions are choices that you can put on the brakes. Like Richard mentioned that on the importance of health, with a few key points on how our sleep not only affects our day, but it also affects our lives. So when something that someone else has said to you or done upsets you, it's all too natural for you to immediately pass the blame because you are hurt and you're angry to that offending person. But instead, we'll have to recognize that we've programmed ourselves to react in that certain way to certain situations based on our preconceived beliefs and priorities. So stop passing blame and accept responsibility for your own emotions, because you do have a choice, really. As flight attendants always say, that you'll have to put on your oxygen mask first before you assist the next person to you. Because if you don't, you and the other person could possibly go down. So the good news is that we can train our brains to look for positives. To acquire emotional empowerment, you need to accept where you are right now in your life, even if you are going through difficult times. Like Peg mentioned that she learned that you can only help others when you fill your own tank first. So you can't heal until you first acknowledge what you are feeling inside you. Your emotional habits determine the quality of your life. So you'll have to take control of your emotions by improving your emotional resilience. When you express your feelings, you're also practicing self-love, and you're also saying that I am worthy and I do matter in this life. So good people, this is a wake-up call. But please, when the alarm clock goes off, don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I'll wake up in the next 2 minutes. I'll wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you get up, get going, and increase your emotional intelligence? My mentor once said, you don't have to be great to get started. You'll have to get started to become great in life. So emotional intelligence has to do with one's ability to both recognize and control their own emotions. If you aspire to be in a leadership role, there is an emotional element you need to consider. Those possessing a high level of emotional intelligence have a connection with their own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, relate to, and influence others, and influence the emotions of others around them. So people who excel in their emotional intelligence can be easy to recognize, since they know what they are feeling and how these emotions can affect other people. If I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this in the chat box. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because the most effective leaders are all alike in one crucial way. They are aware of their strengths and weaknesses, and they strive for continuous improvement. Most people make mistakes around emotional intelligence because they don't acknowledge their own flaws, or they don't learn from their mistakes. Perhaps they are unable to delegate or at least understand what's going on in other people's lives. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, in this world, I'll have to make a difference. Within me, I'll have to make a difference. To those around me, I'll have to make a difference. But in order for you to make that difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. With that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. Lunch to that lion. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. They run because they already told themselves that I am a lunch to that lion. So I'll have to run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. So I think that's the mindset that we need for us to empower our emotions. So please write this down. Write this down. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what dreams you've set for your future. I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months, but here's one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has better plans for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for, and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration is Dallas Brown. He once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what talents, what skills, and what books will die with you? And he also continued that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the visions, all the goals have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me, listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I am really, really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights before you. This is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. So this book has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can get this book for a family member or just a loved one who needs that inspiration to face the world with a positive mindset. And by the way, Les Brown himself, he wrote the foreword in this book. So you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, mental health, emotional intelligence, resilience to greatness, spiritual growth, and many, many more topics, including single parenting. You know, growing up as an individual, I didn't have much because my dad decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. But I had everything because of my mama's love. So I have a free gift for you. It's available on my website. It's a free transformation guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. You can get this free gift at www.risetogreaterheights.com. Because I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Nompumelelo Riel Gonene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, amazing speakers. So at this moment, please feel free to share your final thoughts on emotional empowerment to our viewers online before we wrap up. And you can also share how our viewers can get hold of you if you didn't share. So any speaker can just go ahead. I'm just going to check if we have any questions.
Well, I'd like to thank you so much for hosting this platform, and I'm so honored to be included. And if anyone would like to get a hold of me, you can find me on the easiest places, social media, on Facebook or on Instagram. Facebook on Peg Tucker, Instagram on Peg_Tucker_, and I've got a link tree there. I do represent a homeopathic anti-aging HGH gel that I can give you a sample of if you would be interested in that. And I also have I also partner with a company that is helps people with education and automation of equities and cryptocurrency and digital currencies, and you can that is also something we can have a discussion about. So all of that is in the link tree on both of those platforms. And again, I thank you so much And my goal for emotional empowerment is to continue on this journey, because I'm definitely a work in progress, as we all are. So thank you so much.
Hi, well, everyone, what a great day. What a great hour, you know. And I was listening to Rick, and it was like, I felt like breathing in. I thought, better get the water quickly, you know, because it was like, whoa. But seriously, I think all the speakers, I think, Peg, all of you have been terrific today. And if anyone would like to hear a bit more from me, it's on the screen already, ianaharvey.com. There is a button on the front page that says free 30-minute consultation for the mentoring program. So by all means, go visit. But I have to say, take notes from all speakers today, because everyone had incredible messages. So I thought it was a great event.
Definitely. Yes. So thank you, Ian. Yeah, it was very good. But yeah, enjoyed that. Very good. If people need to get in contact with me, they can get in contact with me at rickeckley67@yahoo.co.uk. What I'll do for only your listeners only, Real, my books will go for sale. They're on Amazon at the moment at $12.99 each. But I will do all 3 books for one price of $12.99. So that will be Your 4 Keys to a Healthier, Happier You, Mastering Your Mindset, and How to Master Your Health. All 3 for $12.99. Just email me, rickeckley67@yahoo.co.uk. But bonus books 3 for 1, and I'll send them off to you. And thank you very much. It's been an amazing program with great information from all the speakers. I've loved it this evening. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, amazing speakers. You know, like today we don't have any questions, but we have messages that this is a great job. It's great. Sibanze Kuku is saying that great, everyone. So many people have been really inspired out there. And thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today from your busy schedule. So to our viewers online, thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope you've been inspired, motivated, and ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as